Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome. My name is Haraset, and this week's episode I'm going to be trying to cover some updated events on general coverage over Star Wars. Generally, what I want to try to do is put out there, a video maybe every twice a week to cover some updates and information on Star Wars, so you can easily get access and find out what the hell's going on with the game at the moment, and scenarios. For this week in the background there will just be some PvP. I might just get around to doing some more editing stuff later on as this progresses. Hopefully I'm trying to get it to progress, so it's up to you guys to let me know. Be sure to email me, ask questions. I'd be happy to do a kind of mailbox section as well on this, but we continue on. The channel itself has not been the most active. I've been doing a lot of work on other things, so I'm trying to pick it up a bit for you guys. I know there's a lot of you out there that waiting and want to listen to information and tips and hints and stuff that I can try to provide to you. So in the meantime, what I will do is this. We'll start off with just some news. Now, before I do kick into that, I have set up a second channel. It does cover the podcast which I'm doing, and there's a lot of interesting discussion going on in regards to MMOs and other little areas like this, which you can check out from my channel. It's actually under the link. You'll find it somewhere over the side there, channel Haraset. So be sure to check that out if you want to get any updates, or if you're interested in podcasting more or less. But to kick it off this week, there has been some interesting information. The first of being which that EA have more or less released a subscriber count as of the end of the first quarter, which turned around and said pretty much that Star Wars is down about 400,000 subscribers. Now, we can look at this in the side and say, oh well, that's normal, or oh my god, it's bleeding, oh my god, this, but the scenario in general is not looking good. I'm sure yourself you will probably find when you log into the game in quite a lot of servers you are seeing empty, dead ghost towns, and this is a big problem. Now, this is another thing that I wanted to push off onto. There have been a lot of posts recently on the forums in regards to server merging. Now, this is one of those things that a lot of people have been requested, and I'm pretty surprised they haven't gone down this route yet. There's probably a few reasons behind the fact that they haven't, I would say. Give or take something along the lines of, oh, it usually is a dead end for MMOs. But in this case I wouldn't be so sure, because there's a lot of servers and there's a lot of people spread across all the servers, which means the servers come across with a lower population. So it would be really nice if they just turned around, grabbed, or even just pushed aside a few of those servers for the time being and kind of squash the community a bit together, so at least then we could have more people on the actual general channels when you log into your own server. The benefits of this obviously is to do with some things that people generally just take for granted. Like when you log into a game for the first time, you have loads of spam in chat, and as much as you might ignore it, there's still some interesting things that you might pick up on. It's a good way to get help from players. Some people are usually nicer than others. You will still get lol noob if you ask for something, but finding groups for instances as well as other things. Now, I'm having a bit more of a problem on my server at the moment. I think on average the max amount of people that are on during peak times is around 40 to 50. And that is pretty detrimental for my PvP. So pretty much I am stuck waiting on about 10 to 20 minute queues just to get into a match, and it's kind of affecting my gameplay, and it's making me less and less want to log in and actually enjoy the game. And I fear that, unless something's done about it soon, which I am expecting in a few patches time, that Diablo 3 might take more of a takeover than not. But on this topic as well, I did find some information that was there bounced around that BioWare have heard this concern, and they plan to be rolling out server transfers in the future. They said early summer, but it's early summer now, so I don't have an exact date on that. But we shall move on to the next part of the news there. There was a podcast there released on the 7th of May. It's their first official podcast for Star Wars. I had listened to it. It's quite good. Unfortunately, it's very, very short. For any of you that are out there that do listen to podcasts, it's normally an average podcast between 2 to 4 people would usually be well over an hour. This is just a kind of a standard play along that people have come to expect. However, this podcast itself is only about 25 minutes long, but it gives you some very direct coverage. some of which they talk about 1.2, other bits they actually go into a few parts on 1.3. Now 1.3 is meant to be bringing in the big feature, which is the cross-server play, which looking for group kind of play that allows you to pretty much look for a group that if you want to do this instance, you probably get teleported to it and it'll find players from all other servers. Now while I may enjoy this aspect, I still don't think it will actually fix the problem of the servers being lonely. I think this is just a kind of it will allow people to mix with other servers, but you'll still lack the community on your own, and it's still a problem they probably need to fix first. The next interesting topic that came up for 1.3 was, of course, augments. Augments will be coming into 1.3 as a separate craftable. Pretty much what this means is that any of the critical augmented gear that you guys can craft at the moment now will be able to craft separately. So instead of getting critical hits all the time, someone will be able to craft it and actually punch it into the gear that they like, so you can add augmentations to your existing gear without having to need to hope for that critical hit. This is a good aspect and I'm looking forward to it. It'll push out a few more classes and trade trees, so to speak, to allow more augments to be created. It should bring some more balance to the game rather than throwing hundreds and thousands of your money onto augment procs. So we shall see how that looks. The next bit of news, and probably why it's taken a bit longer, is they have revealed that they're going to be releasing some content. This is meant to be a new operation that's coming into 1.3. The information was kind of leaked, but I'm not going to give out anything that they haven't officially released. So on the official note, they just said that there is going to be content. It's not going to be as much as 1.2 because they're trying to get it out faster, but in general it will be a little bit less for this reason. So continuing on there, I will just quickly go over the developer tracker. This is pretty much just information based on what the developers have been up to in contact with the community. They have confirmed that there are several issues at the moment with the Foundry Flashpoint that they are hoping to resolve very soon. Next thing, they are asking for quite a lot of requests on a couple of items. They want more UI feedback from players. Obviously this is a plan to increase the UI functionality to allow maybe more options to mix around your UI and make it more unique to the player. They've also asked for feedback on future planets. Now this is, I don't know if this is one of those things we can probably expect in an upcoming expansion, I'd say. But never know, they might release a new planet, something that will be very related to the Star Wars core, and they're requesting feedback on what planet would be liked to be the most. So that's interesting to see. However, I'd still like them to focus a little bit more on fixing some of the major problems, which of course is community. And as for the rest of the actual information that was out this week, pretty much the community coordinators have just been kind of assuring players about their opinions on armors being heard. So people that were giving out about it, they are listening, guys, and all of this type of stuff. They're just doing that. Next point I'll go on to there is pretty much they clarified their stance on the combat passes. Now, for those who don't know, that combat passes came into 1.2. Pretty much what it does is activates a file on your documents, and takes all of the information from all of the action and active combat that you have and puts it into this parser log so you can use it. Now, there was some people wondering about how far they could push this, but pretty much they just clarified that as long as no third party is affecting the game, they can use the parsers for whatever you want, because that was the design of the parser. So pretty much that's the stance of BioWare when it comes to these things, and that's pretty much the most relevant information that I could find on the dev tracker for this week. I'm going to call it there, guys, and what I will do is, like I said, I will try to make this a bi-weekly news tracker so people can keep up to date on things that are happening with Star Wars. Of course, as for the time, I am thinking around making it hopefully for Mondays and Fridays. At least that's when I have the most time available. But Tuesdays I have podcasts, and then I'm rating Wednesday and Thursdays. Now I can try implement some more things, guys. Just let me know. Send me some requests if there's any information you want. I know a lot of people out there really enjoyed the Path to the Pro Side series, which was generally providing information to you guys on how you can do around keybinds, and same with any other videos I have that have been trying to help. If there's anything else in this area you'd like to request, or if you want information on any topic that I can cover, I'm very, very experienced in a lot of MMO gaming, so to speak. So I'd be more than happy to provide as much information on this as I can. But that's it for me for this week, guys. Thank you for listening, and of course I will see you next time.